Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. Today I want to talk about this election. The American people face a dilemma. We face a horrible decision. We have a choice between a man who's said horrible things and a woman who has done horrible things. We have a choice between the wolf and the fox. We have a choice between the snake and the serpent. We have a choice between the devil and the Satan. That's a horrible decision. This election is a joke. And I'm going to free myself from this matrix. I believe in the right to vote. I support voting, but I opt out of the two-party choice. And I plan to vote for a third-party candidate. I haven't decided which candidate that I'm going to support, but I free myself from this bondage. I refuse to be a captive voter. I refuse to be intimidated into voting for one candidate or the other. Donald Trump is a despicable human being. He is not fit to be president of the United States. I don't care how many millions of dollars this man has earned. He's not worthy to be president. He said all kinds of despicable and racist things. He's called Mexican Americans criminals and rapists. He's talked about how a judge was not fit to judge over his case based on that judge's ethnicity. He has made all kinds of anti-Muslim statements. I'm a Muslim, and I take offense to those statements. He talked about banning Muslims from entering the country. This man has made all kinds of statements about Muslims. He's talked about monitoring mosques. He's talked about being open to the idea of Muslims having to register with the government. This man, in many respects, there are parallels between him and Hitler. The same relationship that Hitler had towards the Jews, in many respects, Donald Trump has that same relationship and attitude towards Muslim people. And this man has the nerve to pretend like he is mourning over the loss of Muhammad Ali when he has said some of the most despicable statements against Muslims. This man has made sexist statements about women. This man is not fit to be president. This man has had all kinds of temper tantrums. He's displayed himself like a complete buffoon. But this is the person who has basically secured the Republican nomination for president. You mean to tell me that there were no other Republican candidates worthy? No other Republicans? You mean to tell me that he is the best that the Republican Party has to offer this nation? He is the monster that the Republican Party created. He is the monster that the Tea Party created. The Republican Party for far too long has relied on a Southern strategy that's based on racism, bigotry, and ignorance. And that policy, that attitude of embracing extremism, of courting extremist racists, that policy has come back to haunt not only the Republican Party, but the nation. Because we now have a bigot. We now have a demagogue at the threshold to become the next president of the United States. And people are using that to manipulate you right now. They want you to be so fearful that you will do anything to prevent that man from getting in office. They want you to be so fearful that you will support somebody like Hillary Clinton. In some respects, she is worse. In some respects, she is worse than Donald Trump. Because Donald Trump has said horrible things, but Hillary Clinton, has done horrible things. things that can't be forgiven, things that can't be glossed over. This woman supported mass incarceration of black people. She went around the country pushing and lobbying and rallying behind the 1994 crime bill. A bill that called for more prisons, called for harsher sentences, a bill that encouraged the states to do the same. A bill that led to the mass incarceration of black people. But yet black people were the fools who made the difference in this election by voting for somebody like her. Somebody like her who encouraged the building of more prisons to lock your black butt up. But you voted for her. You supported her. Not only did she support mass incarceration of black people, this woman supported welfare reform, cutting all kinds of benefits that benefited black people who were poor, that benefited all people who were poor in this country. But we know that African Americans are disproportionately poor in this country, disproportionately unemployed in this country. So she supported policies that led to the reduction in social benefits for the poor, cutting a safety net that was there to protect those who were upon hard times, putting holes in a life vest that was there to save people from drowning in poverty. I can't vote for this woman. I won't vote for her. We deserve better. This woman wants you to think that she's some kind of great supporter of Black Lives Matter. That's what she wants you to think. That she supports Black Lives Matter. She got some black mothers to rally behind her. She got some black mothers to walk with her, to support her campaign, to campaign with her. Mothers of victims of brutality, so that she could give you the false impression that she actually gives a damn about black lives. But when Black Lives Matter activists confronted her, she dismissed them. She was dismissive and disrespectful towards them. But she wants you and me to believe she supports black lives. She wants us to believe that nonsense when she supported a man who covered up a killing, a police killing of a young black boy, Laquan McDonald. There was video footage proving that this man did not pose a threat to the police, but the police shot him multiple times. And many of the times that he was shot were when he was lying on the ground motionless. And for a year, Rahm Emanuel covered this up. For a year, he covered it up. He sat on it. And that killer cop was walking around free. Did you hear Hillary Clinton speak out against that? Did you hear a peep from that woman? Did you hear her condemn Rahm Emanuel for that? Of course not. The woman supported this man. And you want us to believe that this woman supports Black Lives Matter? Are you serious? This woman wants us to believe that she has some kind of guidance, or she's some kind of enlightened person when it comes to foreign policy, that she's so experienced. Her foreign policy record sucks. One of the most important votes that she made was about the Iraq war. She voted in favor of that war. A war that was based on lies. A war that was based on a lie that there were weapons of mass destruction. A war that was based on a lie that Saddam Hussein had something to do with 9/11. She supported that war. Thousands of people were killed as a result of a lie. And she expects us to trust her judgment after all those lives lost, after all those innocent people killed, after all those American soldiers killed based on a lie. And we're supposed to trust her judgment. Not only did she vote for war in Iraq, this woman was one of the hawks supporting the invasion of Libya. And now Libya is a wasteland, basically. It is a land where it is lawless. It's a land where terrorist groups chill. Now there's a presence of ISIS in Libya now. As a result of the destabilization of that country has become a haven for terrorists. And America lost lives in that country because of the policies that woman supported. Because of these policies in the Middle East, that whole region is destabilized. That's why you have ISIS roaming and ruling whole sections of Iraq. And this woman supported the overthrow of the Assad regime in Syria. They wanted to support these so-called freedom fighters. Many of those so-called freedom fighters are ISIS members. This woman is not fit to be president. This woman is a puppet of Wall Street. She's received hundreds of thousands of dollars from Wall Street. You don't think that Wall Street didn't get anything in return for those hundreds of thousands of dollars, those millions of dollars that they have given her? They own that woman. And don't let her co-opt the rhetoric of Bernie Sanders because she doesn't mean it. That woman is on record lying constantly, saying that she supports one position when she doesn't really support it. That woman is a joke. That woman is not fit to be president. She's not trustworthy. She's made disastrous decisions. You know, people often talk about Wall Street. They talk about the financial collapse in this country, and they blame it on George W. Bush. In many ways, he is to blame, but also there's blame that can be pointed at the Clintons for their support of deregulation of Wall Street. That deregulation led to the financial crisis in this country. And you want to believe that somehow she's going to bring about some kind of financial boom to this country, some kind of prosperity to this country? This woman is not fit to be president, and neither is Donald Trump. And I was recently reading an article that basically said that Bill Clinton encouraged Donald Trump to run for president. That he was the one who encouraged Donald Trump to run. That was a master chess move. Because he knew that Donald Trump, if he won the nomination, he would be a weak candidate against Hillary Clinton, all but guaranteeing that she would be elected. You have pictures of these people taken together, chilling together, laughing it up, and they want us to believe that there's some real opposition between these people, that we have some real choice here between those two major party candidates. Well, I'm unplugging from the matrix. I'm going a different route. I reject that false choice. And I'm voting for a third-party candidate. I haven't decided which candidate that I'm going to support, but I'm supporting one of them. A third-party candidate. I'm going to use my vote to vote my conscience, to vote for a candidate that I believe in, not a candidate that I was forced to vote for based on fear, based on intimidation. I said it before. I said Bernie a bus, and I meant it.